We're in a spooky castle. Had something to do with Kime, the main character of Lost Odyssey. And we're able to like transition between the present version of the spooky castle and a distant past version of the spooky castle. I don't really know what the deal is with that just yet. But it's spooky. I think I was getting better about maintaining my saves here. I think this was right. Old Sorceress's Mansion Entrance Hall. Should be right. Okay. Yeah, I usually get it right when I start. Maybe we'll luck out and the SCART cable will get here for Ratchet and Clank, but it should still probably look fine with a composite cable. I'm just a stickler. Good excuse to use the Framemeister. Alright, we unlocked some new rooms when we were here last time. We unlocked part of a puzzle. I don't know if I can finish it, but if we need to get into some battles, it's okay. It's very possible to... Thanks, Donovan, I appreciate it. I want to produce a good product, yeah, it's true. Composite's not bad, it's just a little blurry on the edges, and some pixels it doesn't know whether to draw them or not draw them from second to second. Need to find more plates then, I think. It's very possible to screw up this game. I don't know if I have any way to know what the correct plate order is, do I? I think I can pick them back up and move them. But try looking for the symbols elsewhere in the dungeon, too. Okay, that's not correct, but there's only so many orientations it could have, right? So we could just brute force it real quick. To this creepy piano music. I might need to check the door after I place the plates to try it. I did bow and wheat. 1 and 6. Hey, first try. I actually don't know where you go to solve the puzzle, but somewhere else in the dungeon tells you. And we need to get into a lot of battles. It's possible to game over and lose a ton of progress in this game if you're under-grinded. Like, it doesn't really demand grinding, but a random battle can and has wiped me out before, so I need to try to avoid that as much as possible.
Are you some kind of beast?
The game was struggling there to, like, load the combat. I believe these guys were really resistant to physical attacks, or was it magic? I guess we're about to find out. Except we're going to attack for 1 turn just to find out. Nice. It might be resistant to magic. That would make more sense. Oh, no. The books are resistant to magic, and the guards are resistant to physical. Gotcha. Can do. Mind, I think buffs the damage that they deal, magic damage that they deal. Ooh, this is really bad timing. Not quite a one-shot. Oh, no, that was a one-shot. Well, that happened. I gotta burn down this guy then. Try just casting shadow on him, I guess. Oh, is it, Kevin? That would be really interesting. Buy that. It does matter what guns you put in them, only for quality. Okay. Interesting. Is there a way to know quality? Is it indicated by color, or you just kind of get a sense of how late in the game you access it? Flare. I could see them doing that to make this place creepier. It's already pretty creepy. It's pretty much how late you find it. Gotcha. Ow. I was worried for a second there they might actually absorb shadow magic. She can finish casting Prism, I guess. I don't know if these guys are particularly resistant to anything, to be honest. Tell by the color of the chest you got her out of. Gotcha. That's cool. These guys, I think I can physically attack. Yep, it's just the armored soldiers, which they're a pretty good use of the guard condition meter in the top left corner. If someone's on the front row, the guard condition meter is full, it reduces damage to characters in the back row significantly. Alright, let's change out what Seth has equipped currently. And let's top off Mac. I like games where death and status effects don't continue outside of combat. I see why games do it that way. They can use Cook as a healing battery, right? God, the heal just sucks, kind of. Fortunately. We need to get Kira. Yeah, quite a decent number of perfects. Home Fragment D. I will be back. Why have I heard this before? It's not an uncommon saying. We're gonna learn more about... We've already got Kaim's grandkids in the party. Oh. Well, this tells us what the order is supposed to be, but... I am one in search of solitude. Why have you invaded my hermitage? If you have nothing to ask, you should leave immediately. You see my door with your eyes. My quest for solitude ensures it will remain untouched. If you still insist on meeting me, you will find the key at your feet. Follow the symbols of light and proceed with order. Thanks, Jansen. Guessing the sorceress is Kaim's, old wife. I never made it this far. If I did, I don't remember. There's a giant clock. But hook or crick, we've got to see the sorceress. So it's top going clockwise. It's pot, wheat, celestial, bow. There's these 4 mirrors. Starts with the celestial thing being highlighted. Celestial bow. Ah, okay. Maybe it doesn't actually matter what order we do them in. Here's the celestial thing from the beginning. Faint magical vibrations in the air. Alright. After doing that, the vibrations went away. That's presumably a good thing. You probably have to see what the one that's in the main room is and then go find that one elsewhere and talk to it. Goddess medicine. What does that do? Revives a KO'd ally with fully restored HP. Okay, so it's like a super phoenix down. Be careful, don't want to waste it. Hey, new magic. That's always exciting. It's spirit magic? Lost. Expels an enemy from battle. No. So trash, basically. And maybe it makes good composite magic. Lost. It does not. Bummer. Oh, I should change whatever Seth is currently learning. She learned something just recently. Spirit Magic 4. Mental Stability. Let's do the level 4 Black Magic. Surprised there's no random battles here. That or the encounter rate is janky enough. Alright, let's see what the middle console is showing now. Now it's the one on the right, which is the wheat, which I think we've been to. It's not this one. This one? Yeah, that's a ticket. Although there's like a clear switch sound, and Ming describes it as magical vibrations, right? It's this one. Cool. And the last one should be the one room we haven't been able to be in yet, which I believe is this one. Yep. That wasn't too complicated. Magical vibrations produced by your headphones. Well, that seems inefficient. Make it so no one else can find their way into your room. One person solves your puzzle. You gotta build another pillar?
Just a moment. The magic energy is strongest here, on the other side of this door. She's here.
I feel it too. Come on.
Presumably she's also an immortal, right? Because Kime's an immortal. This is the girl with the glasses from the flashbacks.
I have a favor to ask of you.
No, maybe not. Maybe it actually is a witch.
What?
Should have backed up and saved before we walked in here. Hey, Serp, how's it going?
Magic energy.
He's freaking.
So what kind of magic energy is this?
You mean you don't know?
Oh, is the audio wonky again, maybe, Kevin? Maybe it's the
Oh, here it comes.
device audio crapping itself again. You guys think it sounds distorted? Let me know when I reinitialize it.
What's she doing?
She's attacking herself. Why is she doing this?
She's crazy, that's why. Hey, if she wants to rest, let her.
No. She'll die if she continues. If she dies, who will break a seal in the Black Cave?
Right, yeah. Good point.
You know, I think I did make it to the Black Cave, because I think I got stuck there.
How about that? You heard me.
I explored for 2 hours and forgot to save and lost progress. I'm gonna try reinitializing the capture card real quick, just in case it's distorting the audio. Just let me know what y'all hear. This theme's pretty sweet. Love Uematsu. It's gonna lose audio for a second. Okay. Yeah, if you guys hear it, let me know. I can only see visual distortions. Gotcha. I guess I could maybe mute the microphone and just listen whenever I switch games to the stream audio, since there's no delay anymore. See if I hear it myself. Thanks. Oh, it's a little subtle. Okay. I wonder if I'd be able to hear it. Maybe I can plug headphones into it. Okay. Body of thought. Body of thought. Body of thought. The only weak against elements is the question. Since beast magic. This is a magical enemy. I'll try it. Try to hit one of the enemies that I don't have a clear element that I know they're weak against. Try doing some buffs here. Buff Ming, so I'll be casting lots of spells with her. Flare probably on the water enemy, is how that works. Try casting Aqua on the fire enemy and see how it goes. Scream. Thanks for reporting it, I appreciate it. I got worried when I couldn't hear it too. They do like a counterattack when you hit them with a physical move. Well, why would I do that? Wait, are they just absorbing my spells, or was I actually that stupid and cast it on the same element thing? I don't think I did. Oh, it's changing the color of it. I don't think we want her to kill herself. We gotta kill these things before it does. Oh, I missed them change element when she screamed. I see. Alright, I'm just gonna try to burn them down as much as I can here. I wonder if I can cure her. I cannot. Alright. Just burn down the bodies of thought as fast as we can. I can try to use non-elemental magic, maybe. Random elemental damage is too dangerous. I picked the correct elements and they shifted. I see. Ooh. Okay, force is where it's at, apparently. Should just have everyone spam force. I don't know how many total turns I'm gonna get to save her, because they seem like they're hitting her really hard. So we might lose this one, I'll have to do the puzzle again. Yeah, I don't have to worry too much about the counters. I cannot heal her, no. If I could, it would be okay. I think I get 2 more rounds to win. By killing the ads, I make it a little bit easier on myself, so that helps. So let's try to kill as many of them as we can, so that they're doing less damage apiece, you know? We might be okay. If I can kill one before it gets to go, then she'll only take damage from 2 of them. Force spam. Got it, Aki. Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay now. I think they calibrated the enemy's health well enough. You can make a mistake on the first turn and then figure it out. They are doing more damage, though, because of me buffing them accidentally on the first turn. I think there's only one enemy that hits her next turn, and then I think we'll be okay to finish it off on the last turn. May the 4th's the first half. May the 4th be with you, and also with you. Okay, I think we're gonna be alright now. One enemy won't do enough damage to kill her. Lucked out that Force does so much damage, or I'd be in big trouble. I don't think I'd keep wanting to try casting the elemental spells. Wonder if she gets to go sooner with Scream if you cast an elemental spell, you know? Yeah, get the old sorceress in a creepy house. Get another bonus stream for it. Hey. Oh, it just occurred to me, please don't continue attacking and automatically hit the sorceress. Okay. Something like that happened in a battle earlier where I queued up my whole team and they just like killed Mac in one turn, and I was supposed to pass a turn, hit him once, and be like, oops, not supposed to do that. Hey, it's Kym's girlfriend. For reasons of weird random magic in this universe, she turned into an old hag for a little bit. Ex-wife, maybe?
Sarah! What? This is Sarah?
This is our grandma? Our grandma?
Oh, shit. I just didn't think about that.
Sarah.
Okay, so that's 4 immortals, right? Kym,
Sarah,
Seth,
it's me, Kym.
Ming,
Don't
and
you
Sarah. And I think they said Gungora was also an immortal, and apparently the 5 of them made some kind of pact. But Gungora turned on us and wiped our memory.
It's not working. Gungora's trapped her the same way he did me. She's punishing herself because she's convinced she killed Lirum.
She's put up a strong barrier around herself. We need to do much more to save her.
What do I do? How do I save her?
That's the most emotional I've seen Kym.
Oh, she's getting ugly. Oh. Sarah, no!
Grandma! No! Listen, Grandma! You ready? Waves coming just like the morning comes.
Hey, it's that theme music.
Things come and go.
It's dubious whether she knows that they exist, though, right? Oh, maybe it's something that their mother sang to them, and their mother learned it from Sarah, would be my guess.
Together and we fall apart. Then it all goes away. But there will come a day that our light will shine. From the darkness and sorrow that we knew, there will be a light that reaches us inside.
She's listening to them, got all this magic swirling around her, like, alright.
To a new
Kym's like, what the fuck?
that's
Kym doesn't seem like a singer to me, neither does the voice of Phil and Lil from Rugrats.
I know it, I feel it. You're heading straight home back to me. No, I know it, I feel it. You're heading straight home back to me now.
Hey.
Sarah!
Alright. Hey Jay, did you check the mail by any chance? Was there anything?
Sarah.
Just that it was completely empty?
Kym. Wake up.
In 20 minutes, could you go back and check it again and check if there's a parcel thing? Could check the mailroom. There's something I need for a stream. It might be
Yes,
there, it
it's
might
me.
not. There's 20 minutes and
think
come check
she's
at me,
going
let
to
me
be
know whether
alright
there's
now.
anything there. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I don't sense any pain or fear in her magic energy.
That's good, right? She's back to herself again.
Good thing she doesn't sense any pain or fear in her magic energy. I love Sakaguchi, but
You remember?
No, my memories are gone.
it's interesting. You have a universe that has magic, and you have a lot of
I know
incidental
you're my
shit. Like, you
husband.
can sense fear in people's magic?
I
Alright.
know what we left behind in this house. The journal I kept. I know. You are kind. The only man I've ever loved.
Seems lucky for him that he fell in love with another immortal. Means that Seth is kind of screwed, and Ming. But a lot of the little stories, which are the best part of the game.
Record keeping.
Yeah.
Even though Gongora erased her memory, Sarah was driven back here by the longing in her heart and returned to her home. The home spirit called to her.
I could live here.
The journals she left behind
Thanks, Jensen.
provided a record of her
This
1,000
guy,
years
man.
of living.
Nice.
Welcome home, kind.
I remember you. I remember how much I loved you.
I'm trying to think, like, is it appropriate to have your party be almost all immortals?
I loved someone.
If you don't have
With all of my heart.
the non-immortals in your party, you don't learn new
Even though
skills. You can only learn skills from the
no memory
non-immortals.
of just who it was.
But I'm not sure what the meta is supposed to be.
That and the feeling that I'd lost someone precious to me.
That would be Liram.
Liram. Our daughter.
Liram is no longer with us.
Yeah, about that. She's super dead.
She was our mother. Our mother was always singing us that lullaby.
Hey, called it.
And so we sang it for you, Grandma. I'm Cook. I'm Mac.
Nice to meet you. Cook? Mac? My
Yay.
journal kept me living in the past. Now my life is
Hey,
full
could somebody
once again.
check the stream delay real quick? I feel like it's
Our daughter has
drifting a little
given
bit
us
as the stream
beautiful
goes on. Like,
grandchildren.
when we first started, it was only a second or two, and now it's
Everything
more like
that
3 or
happens
4
from now
seconds looking at
on
my dashboard.
We'll make new memories to live in my
So I can
heart.
test it over here.
Don't you think that's wonderful?
Uh-huh.
Being surrounded by these mementos is what helped me wait for you.
Nice picture. Click. Oh yeah. What a woman. Mm-mm.
I see. Buffering has pushed back the delay. I wonder if refreshing helps at all with that. It is a beta, so it might not be perfect yet. I'll keep it on so long as it's not really screwing up the visual quality or causing lots of people to buffer. We're never having to deal with it before. Alright, so what's her deal? What does Sarah have? Anti-petrify, relax, recovers MP when defend is used. That's cool. Black and white magic up to level 4. If you pause and play, it comes back to a 1 to 2 second buffer. Ah, okay. Thank you. It does with quality options, but they also just added a low latency beta, or at least this channel got opted into the beta. I think partners have been in it for a while. It's supposed to reduce the latency from like 15 to 20 seconds to more like 2 to 3 seconds. But it sounds like if you buffer it all, it starts to drift over time, so you might have to pause and play if you need it to be low latency. Gotcha. That buffering is probably what they were talking about. She's an immortal mage like Ming. So I have 2 immortal mages and 2 immortal physical attackers. I feel like I shouldn't have 4 immortals in my party. I need to level up the other
We need to get to the
characters.
Goatson capital. We'd like you to unseal the Black Cave.
That seal was set to prevent an invasion by Gotsa, so that Tosca wouldn't be caught up in a war.
I know, right, Aki? It's fun that we can finally
Yeah,
like
but just you know,
talk
your
back
head
and
was
forth
screwed
without
on
the
wrong
weird
then.
15-second delay
With
between
your
everything.
memory gone, you acted to protect others.
The longer we leave Gongora to his own devices, the more children like ours will come to harm. Help us, Sarah.
Come.
Ming at least had the cool composite magic. Probably set her on skill link regardless. don't know if she... I don't think characters level up if they're not in your party in this game. I'm not 100% sure. Be better concentration, maybe? Oh, Angel Heart. Oh, she has a buff that increases how much healing she does, and her healing still sucks. I think I just need to get the level 2 cure spell. Alright, so I didn't remember anything from the old Sorceress's Mansion other than the creepy piano song. The Black Cave is 100%, I'm positive, that's as far as I ever got when I played this 11 years ago when it came out. I got to this cave and the save points were sparse and ended up wandering for like 2 hours away from a save point and got into a random battle and just died. And it completely deflated any desire to play the game for a couple months, and then something else came out and I never finished it. So I've been effectively blind since the beginning. Here and there, there's been like, oh, I kind of remember this boss, but I'm very soon about to be actually blind. For reals, no fooling. Hope for the best. Probably hopeful I just got a free full heal when I popped out of that mansion, but I did. This is the weird game where you can go to the title screen and load your save again, and then everyone is at full health and mana, so sometimes it's correct to just do that at a save point. Which raises the question, why don't they just heal you at a save point like they would in Final Fantasy X? I'm actually super curious why it works that way. It may have just been an accident. Black Cave, alright. I'm having non-clinical PTSD about this place. Actually, I remember this particular screen here. I feel like I was close to a save point. Doesn't store current. Yeah, I bet that's what it is, so it just fills it.
It's okay. What is this? Goats and soldiers?
Were they coming to recruit men from the village?
I imagine so. Huh?
Hey, wait a minute. I thought you said the cave critters would leave us alone if we didn't bug them. Liar.
That's what they were supposed to do.
Hey, it's like the Antlion. Sometimes Sakaguchi has similar ideas across games, right?
Stay alert.
Old sorceress lady in a creepy mansion. Animals were supposed to be docile, but suddenly they're not.
You want a piece of me?
Okay. Dark Sorcerer. That thing wasn't included in the cool cutscene. Let's try Prism and Composite Magic. I'm gonna do all Flare. Try that. I guess they're all Wind Elemental. Oh, it's a Fire Elemental. Let's try all Ground. Will they be immune to ground because they're flying? I don't know if it actually cares about that. Sakaguchi's done float for a really long time, though, I guess. Yeah, Palamon Forum singing the Hymn of the Faith to calm terror. Mac and Cook are pretty good Palamon Forum analogs. Counterattack is pretty great. Nice. Mac's kind of like a red mage, sort of. He's alright at melee and he's alright at magic, but he's not particularly good at either. Miss. You're not allowed to cast that. That's what I was doing, but. Okay, so that is how I died, almost positively. I ran into a fight with this guy. Cool. It does a magic counterattack when you cast magic on it. Okay, alright, it's a single target that time though, thank god. Spirit magic is a random collection of stuff. Right. Alright, don't cast magic on this asshole. He's got reflect. Good to know. See, this is... If I had one complaint about Lost Odyssey's combat system, I actually like it a lot. It has a lot of really cool ideas. But the fact that you enter all your party members' actions all at once, then they all resolve simultaneously, or they don't even resolve simultaneously, they still resolve in some initiative order. Like, it leads to problems like that, where I feel like RPGs are supposed to teach you, you make a mistake, and you're like, oh, alright, don't hit Mac. But because I've spent the whole turn queuing every character to hit Mac, then Mac just dies after I learn the lesson and I have to load and try it again. That's like literally a reflect. Although I guess he takes the damage too, so it's a little bit different from your typical magic counter.
Alright, who said they wouldn't attack? Because it wasn't me!
Some mysterious power was driving them, making them attack us. Didn't you feel it?
Really feeling
But
it.
why?
Yeah, if it was a party counter, I would have been dead.
You mean Gongora?
Especially with how much All Ground did when he casted himself.
Couldn't it be that this world's natural magic energy is having some kind of effect?
That seems rational. What does that mean, Leon?
Let your guard down, eh?
There's another one of these assholes. No casting magic. And maybe have them cast healing spells so they're not wasting their turns. I wonder if the hit versus miss roll happens before I hold the circle down. Then... oh no, they can confuse people? Did not know that. This is a hell cave. I'm trying to think of like comparable dungeons in video games, right? Everything hits you with status effects, you can get petrified to death. It's like the Calm Lands, but much bigger, seems like. The invasion on these guys is too high for my comfort. Do they counter magic if I cast magic on the enemy, or they counter all magic? I guess is a good question. Take missions, you get parts, rewards, and mech parts and weapons, cash and reputation. Before you launch the mission, you can choose a split between them. Extra valuable depending on how you take the enemy mechs out. If you salvage on the battlefield, you take your salvage rights. Oh, it's really hard to steal a complete mech in a single battle. You had specified you wanted less salvage, and then if you had specified a higher amount, you could have gotten more salvage out of it. Oof. Both of my mages are confused now. Which apparently they still get to act sometimes according to what I asked them to do, which is nice. Nice. I should be making Kaim and Seth heal outside of combat. I'm pretty routinely getting the good MP regeneration with them. I see. But you don't know that what's going to happen in the battle before you start. It's like a wager that you're making, basically. It sounds like. There we go.
That was close.
Hey. Oh wow. I'm apparently under leveled because one battle is enough to get halfway to a level up. So that might also explain why I struggled with this place 11 years ago. Gotcha. That's cool. Let me double check what everybody's situation is vis-a-vis skill link and all that fun stuff. Guess I can be pretty sure that the cook's not leveling up, right? So I might want to swap her in occasionally just so that she can level up so that we can learn more things from everybody. Let's see. I already finished learning spirit magic, so I've been wasting some here. Let's go with mental stability. And she's almost done with whatever she's learning. And she's already done with what she's learning. Let's do concentrate. I actually want Angel Heart. Oh, Anti-Petrify is already set. Is Angel Heart just like an always-on passive or something? Puzzle. Minimum salvage, the mandatory default to fix it. Oh, Paradox is making, Paradox didn't make the original Battletech, right? Did they just get the rights to it or something? This place is terrifying, no wonder it's called the Black Cave. Without any light, there's no telling what horror awaits. Poison's eating away at my body, my friends were killed by monsters. Light, only I had some light. Thought that might be a memory for a second. I feel like we're not going to get a memory this time. Producing, okay.
Ha! Not too smart, eh?
Yeti monsters. Oh, also, I shrank the minimum distance between lines of text within a single message on Twitch. Are you guys still able to read the text okay on different quality settings? I mean, obviously, to really read it in stream, you'll probably have to watch it full screen in most cases. But other than new Shadowrun games, that's cool. Is that why they're kind of like? Someone was saying the other day that they're kind of like XCOM. Awesome. Yeah, I like it better too. I think it's easier to distinguish one person's messages. Publisher. And there's more room for text on the screen at once. Might be able to shrink it further. Let me check really quick if it's still legible. I think it looks cleaner. Oh, I already have it on smallest. Never mind. It's fine. Alright, Mac is very close to dying. Fortunately, the single target heal actually goes off pretty fast. Theater mode in 480p and you can read it fine. Thanks, Aki. It's a good test. Yeah, I was just dorking around with font settings today. I was exploring changing the Chrono Trigger font. I can imagine it might be a turnoff to some new people. And I couldn't find any font that I liked better. I just liked the retro look of it. But while I was in there trying out different chat fonts, holy shit, that thing hits like a truck. I landed on the line spacing within a given message, and that was a really cool setting. I don't think it's always been in chatty, because I feel like I would have added it a long time ago. Must have been some update that put it in there. Maybe this was the thing that wiped me before. Good. grind for a bit in here, I feel like.
Okay.
That is not a good enough heal to keep me from dying. Kaim, Seth, and Ming are unable to act? Oh god. Okay. Sign of Petrification isn't the same thing as Petrification. Seal, I think, blocks them from casting spells, which I need to take a risk and hope I can do that. I don't know if it's immune to it or it just happened to miss there. Okay. Oh, we're super dead. Yep, I bet you that's what happened to me. That thing sucks. Next time I fight it, I might want, if someone can look up like a bestiary for this game and let me know if it's weak against something, because I do not want to be in here for like 2 hours and have that happen again. Does Sarah have a better healing spell? She does have Gila, yeah, she's level 4 white magic. Which I don't think anybody else has level 4 white magic yet, question mark. She doesn't. Spirit magic, and I can't learn it from her. If it were Zephyra, that'd be nice. Cook learns Gila at 25, okay. I need to get that for everybody, so let me swap her into my party here. Good call. Maybe that's part of what got me in trouble in the past, too. Fortunately, it was just the one battle. Zephyra is supposed to be a default spell on Sarah? Maybe it depends on what level you are when you recruit her. Clearly I'm super under-leveled because I'm getting like half a level per battle. Something's fishy with that. Let's wait, spot a chest. I feel like the random battle, like encounter system in this game is, instead of it being like a, I don't know, 5d20, that's not even a good example. It's like a 1d100 to see if you get into an encounter or not. You either run around for a really long time with no fights, or you take 2 steps and get into fights immediately. It's a very wide range. Oh, she needs that ability first. That would explain it. Stone Beast Thorn. Goddess Medicine. Anything that grants level 5 white magic? I don't think so. Maybe like equipment you're thinking? I can check in a second. Hey, we are going to get a Kaim memory. What do you know? This will probably wrap the stream. I can try to get back to the save point. Dream has been revealed. Best part of Lost Odyssey. Dubious whether it was written at the same time as Sakaguchi's main story. The tragedy of the Butcher General. Everyone knows this general as the Butcher. He is strong in battle, a skilled tactician. He has mastered the technique of turning the specifics of topography and timing to his advantage, and he is outstanding above all in the skills of an individual warrior. Victory on the battlefield, however, does not lead straight to butchery. Many generals have been nicknamed for their military prowess: the victorious, the indomitable, the invincible, but only one is known as the Butcher. These are really well localized in addition to being well written. Do you know why that is, Kime? The general himself asks as he gloats over the vast mountain of corpses. Kime does not reply. He entered the fray as a mercenary, but his exploits far outclass those of the regular troops. For the general to call a man into his presence and speak to him face to face is apparently an honor beyond even most officers' wildest dreams. Not just from winning battles, the general goes on. That would be too simple. Just kill the enemy general. Take the big one's head and the battle's over, right? Kime nods in silence. That is how this battle should have ended instead of continuing for 3 days. The enemy general proposed to surrender on the first day. He offered his head in exchange for the lives of his men and the villagers. But the butcher rejected the offer. He continued his all-out attack on an enemy that had lost the will to fight, annihilating them in the process. The last day was used to burn down the forest into which the unresisting villagers had fled. The real battle doesn't end when you raise the victory song on the battlefield. If even one person survives, the seed of hatred lives on. Talking about the desire for revenge, nothing good can come from leaving that behind. You must cut the cause of future troubles at the root. This is why the troops under the general's command killed the young men of the village after they were through exterminating the enemy troops. They also killed the unarmed old people. They killed mothers fleeing with children in their arms. They killed children they stripped from those mothers' corpses. Do you think me cruel, Kime? I do, Kime answered, nodding. Yeah. The officers gathered around them went pale, but the butcher himself smiled magnanimously and went on. You didn't do any of those things, I gather. My job is to kill soldiers on the battlefield. My contract doesn't call for anything else. And I'm saying that's a foolish line of thinking. The soldiers you killed are brothers and children. Do you plan to go on living in fear of their revenge? That is sheer stupidity. You wipe out the entire family, you can live without such worries, you see. General laughs uproariously, and the surrounding officers all smile in response. Kime, however, his expression unchanged, starts to walk away. Where are you going, Kime? We're through talking, aren't we? The contract has ended. Never mind that, just wait. When the general says this, several soldiers stand to block Kime's way. Listen, Kime, I've had reports of your performance from the front lines. What do you say to fighting under me from now on? You can exploit your martial talents to the full. Almost said marital talents, it's a very different thing. I'm not interested. What's that? I will never draw my sword on an unarmed opponent. The butcher's momentarily taken aback, the shock written clearly on his face. You still don't understand, do you? You should try reading a little history. You'll find that hatred only breeds more hatred. This is what inevitably brings down even the most prosperous nations and powers. Which is why I make absolutely sure to sever it at the root. If you ask me, General, war and butchery are two different things. What are you? The same goes for valor and brutality. You, a lowly mercenary, dare to lecture me? Let me tell you something about hatred too, General. It doesn't evaporate from cutting off a life. It remains. In the earth, in the clouds, in the wind. I have lived my life in that belief, and I intend to go on doing so. You stupid. Butchery is the work of cowards. That is what I believe. Where do you get the nerve? The general glares at Kime, and his men draw their swords. At that very moment, from within the scorched forest come the cries of soldiers. Here are some, 5 of them still left. No, 6. There's a 5, no 6. Over there, they went that way. Distracted by the shouts, the general commands his men. Hurry, capture them. Don't let even one of them get away. Hurry, hurry, you can't let them escape. The men blocking Kime begin to fidget, and none of them thinks to stop him as he calmly walks away. Do you hear me? You must not let them escape. If even one of them gets away, I'll have your heads, all of you. The general's calls are clearly those of a coward. Is the army going to turn on him? Okay, I guess not. Butcher presided over many battles after that, and he burned countless villages to the ground, butchering all of their inhabitants. Then one night, something happened. The general felt a strange itching sensation on the back of his hand. Oh, is this like Macbeth? It was different from an ordinary insect bite or skin eruption. It was deeper down and felt like a kind of squirming. This is odd. He clawed at his skin, but the itch would not subside. It was very strange. There was no redness or swelling or sign of a rash. Maybe I touched a poisonous moth. The General had burnt yet another village to the ground that day. Surrounded by a beautiful countryside, the village in times of peace had been extolled as the Flowering Hamlet. In keeping with the name, the villagers poured their energies into cultivating flowers of many hues, and the ones in full bloom in this particular season had the color of the setting sun. Indeed, the entire village looked as if it had been dyed the color of a beautiful afterglow. This was the village the general burned down with flames far redder than any sunset. The villagers who ran in circles begging for their lives, he killed one at a time. Far redder than the sunset, far redder than the flames was the blood that soaked into the earth. But this is how it always is. I didn't do anything special today. Shaking the hand that refused to stop itching, the general took a swallow of liquor. And in that moment it happened. Tearing through the thin skin of the back of his hand, a number of small grain-like things emerged from within. No blood flowed, no pain accompanied them. Exactly the way plants sprout from the earth. No, the things that covered the back of his hand before his very eyes were unmistakably plant sprouts. Horrified, the general took a razor to the back of his hand and tried to shave the things off. When the blade came in contact with them, however, they gave off sounds like human moans. Sounds exactly like the moans of a human being dying in agony as his entire body is slashed by swords. Or like the moans of a person who's being burned alive. "Shut up, damn you! Shut up, you hellish!" Holding the razor in one hand to shave the other, he could not cover his ears. His body was soaked in a greasy sweat by the time he succeeded in shaving the horrible things from the back of his hand. Salve his own anger, he shouted for the men who were supposed to be guarding him. "Where the hell have you been, sir? Should have come running when you heard unusual voices coming from my tent. That is your job as my guards." Of course, they didn't hear anything. The guards gave each other puzzled looks, and the first replied hesitantly to the general, "Forgive me, sir, we were standing just outside the entrance, but we never heard any such." The general glared at his guards in rage, but after struggling to keep his welling anger in check, he shouted, "Never mind then, get out!" He was too obsessed to waste time on subordinates. Almost immediately, the itching attacked the back of his hand again, but this time it was not limited to his hand. His flanks, his shoulders, his buttocks, behind his knees, his whole body started to itch. Alone again, the general tore off his nightclothes and inspected his entire body in the moonlight seeping through the roof of the tent. Things were sprouting from everywhere now, and some even had leaves beginning to grow on them. The general raised a soundless scream and began wildly attacking the growths wherever he could reach them. Each one he cut from his body released a horrible moan. Horrible, horrible, horrible. His bedsheets turned green before his eyes, and soon the numberless sprouts were transformed into numberless human corpses. They covered not only his bed, but the whole earth before they melted into the darkness of night and vanished. One sleepless night followed another in endless succession. The horrible things kept sprouting from his skin, however much he cut them off. I love the kinetic typography in this game. Ointments had no effect. He tried taking every poison-quelling tablet he had his hands on, but nothing worked. He couldn't speak of this to his subordinates. For rumors spread that strange plants were sprouting from the butcher's body, it would embolden his enemies and discourage his allies. One of his subordinates might even try to take his head at night. His cowardice had earned him the name of the Butcher, and that same cowardice was what turned the general into a lonely, isolated man. He had no one he could tell about this. Each night the general would wage his lonely battle, though perhaps it could not be called a battle precisely. Things merely sprouted from his body and put up no resistance. When he took the razor to them, they would simply moan and fall away. What the general engaged in on his own was less a battle than lonely butchery. Several more nights went by. The sprouting continued with undiminished force. The single fortunate aspect, perhaps, was that the things only sprouted in places on his body where the general could reach with his razor. This could as well have been a curse, however, and the general had no choice but to go on shaving the things precisely because he could reach them. Just because he was able to perform the butchery by himself, he could not call for help. His lonely butchery continued, his sleepless nights continued, the general's flesh wasted away. Why is this happening? The general asked himself. Why did this have to happen to me? This is a time of war. I am here on the battlefield. I have to kill the enemy to survive. In order to give myself future peace of mind, I have to kill them all, both armed and unarmed. It is simple common sense. All I have done is the sensible thing in the most sensible way. This night again, the sprouts emerged from his body. This night again, the general had to shave them off. Again the countless moans. Again the countless bodies. Again he heard the cock crow to announce the end of night. Again the general passed the night without the comfort of sleep. General's body, once superbly conditioned on the battlefield, withered away before his own eyes, but more than his body, his mind became unstable. He spent his days sprawled on his bed. Eyes open or closed, he would see images of his past scenes of butchery. Now he began to recall the words of a skilled but insolent mercenary. Hatred doesn't evaporate from cutting off a life. It remains in the earth, the clouds, and the wind. General wanted to see that man again. To see him and ask him again, have I been wrong all these years? Yes. The man himself, a man of few words, could probably not answer his question. Still, the general wanted to see him again, that mercenary, that Kime fellow. The sun went down, the night gradually deepened. As always, the itching started and the plants began to sprout. The general, grasping the razor in fingers that now looked like withered branches, no longer had the strength to shave them off. His back began to itch. This was the first time the things had sprouted someplace beyond his reach, as if they'd been waiting for this opportune moment. Sprawled in his bed, the general let the razor drop from his hand. Enough, I don't care anymore. The sprouts kept growing, creeping over him. Before long, they had covered him completely. This is really good body horror. At that point, his back split open and an unusually large sprout emerged. Not a shaving cream. By dawn, the sprout had fully matured, and before the cock crowed, it produced a single blossom the color of an evening afterglow. I think we're going to stop after this, even though I won't be able to hit the save point. We didn't make a lot of progress from the save. I'll just mark in the how long to beat that we can skip this stream when we get to it next session. Many long years have passed. Visiting the old battlefield, Kime finds a flower garden there. Blooming in profusion are flowers of clearly different shape and color than the ones along its border. Beside the garden stands a stone monument inscribed with the garden's history. In this place, a great general met his end. He was known as the Butcher. He died suddenly one night, and from his body grew many flowering plants. These were evening flowers, a blossom unique to a village the general had burnt to the ground. An ancient legend tells us that the seeds of the evening flower lodge in the bodies of those who nourish hatred in their breasts, and the roots of the plant feed the flowers with the person's flesh. The garden's flowers, the color of the setting sun, sway in a gentle breeze. Kime stands there for a long time, gazing at the countless flowers given birth by hatred before walking on in silence. It is said that in the very center of the garden lies a disintegrating suit of armor, but no one has ever found it. I really like these stories. I need to see if I can find some books by the author. He's really, really good at precise phrasing. Alright, so I'm going to try to run. Maybe I'll luck out and not get into any battles. If I get into one, though, we're just going to call it from there. Oh, okay. I'm going to go see if we got the SCART cable for Ratchet and Clank. And if not, I might make a quick run to the mailroom, so I might be away for 5 or more minutes. I'll put on some music for y'all to listen to in the meantime. Thanks for your patience. We'll see you in a bit.